So one question I get all the time from people who look at Airstreams who don't know much about them is, who's buying these things? Why do they cost so much money? Are people crazy? Answers might surprise you. Is it status? Is it showing off? Is it just a brand loyalty thing? We'll just have more money than common sense? Let me give you a few reasons people really buy these things. You should use this 25 footer just to go through it. Oh, in no particular order, let's talk about towability. This particular model is going to have Goodyear Endurance tires. Those are great trailer tires. And they are mounted to a Dexter torsion axle. So each wheel has somewhat of an independent suspension. They also have, you can see it there, but on certain models like this International, you have shock absorbers. If you've ever towed a trailer before, it can be quite freaky when this thing starts bouncing around on a rough road. These are gonna tow nice and smooth. Part of that is due to the shape. This round shape is very aerodynamic. It's kind of inspired by like an airplane. So you'll get less headwinds, less crosswinds. It is also balanced real low, so you won't get a lot of sway, you won't get a lot of rollover. Here's a great example. If you look up in the corner, this test was done with 2 Porsche Cayennes with an Airstream and a box trailer. And as you can see, going through the slaloms, that box trailer handles completely differently while the Airstream tracks perfectly. Reason number 2, longevity. These are built to last 70, 80 years. That's why they don't change much. Wally Byam, the founder, said, let's not make changes, only improvements. So these are all still handmade, riveted, solid aluminum inner and outer shell. These windows are hand cut by artisans who've been doing this for many, many years. Give you an example, this door is an 8-hour build. It's super solid. Listen, if you look at a regular RV door, they're mass manufactured. They're all basically the same. This is custom made. It should last forever. Big RV problem would be leaks. Will it leak? It could. Is it likely to leak? No, not really. I'm sure you can find stories out there of them leaking, but it's very rare. We rarely see these in the service center. Coming inside, this floor, for the last, 4 years, they got rid of all the wood in the floor and they went with a composite floor that's fully waterproof. So if you ever did have some water intrusion, you're less likely to have a rotten floor. There's no wood up in these walls. They're very well insulated. Like I say, people buy these because they want something that's quality and well built and will last a long time. You see it all the time, people restoring 50-year-old, 60-year-old units. They've been in business since 1931, and a study they did said about 75% of every Airstream ever made is still rolling. Let's get some lights in here and talk about history. Airstream is real Americana. This is it's a staple in the American story. Wally Byam was an absolute hero to people who know about him. He did some amazing caravans and adventures all over the world, and he used these. He had hundreds of people with him, traveling in the most treacherous terrains. If you do some research into Wally Byam's history of the caravans, it'll get you really excited about pulling an Airstream. There's lots of old footage of it. Next, resale value. Airstream doesn't build a lot of dealer inventory, so most people custom order exactly what they want, and because of that, there's not a lot of supply. If you do a search for used Airstreams, it's really hard to find one. So when you buy one, it's going to cost you way more than a regular trailer, but you'll lose less in the end because you'll get pretty much all your money back if you ever want to sell it. And because it's a small group of people that buy these, they're typically going to buy what they want, and they're not going to negotiate too much. If you have it, you're going to sell it. Next would be design. Everything from the panoramic windows to the clean cabinet work. Just look at the type of hardware they use. These are Bloom. I mean, everything in here is designed by a designer. They've won multiple Red Dot design awards. Now, the floor plans don't change too much, but the colors and the finishings as you move through the different brands will change quite a bit, and they all have specific artistic inspiration. Yeah, I'll be honest, it's a bit about prestige. If you own an Airstream in a world of people who know about Airstreams, it's a pretty elite club. They have owners groups, and you can get a badge for your Airstream with the name of your Airstream. It's a community, so there is a bit of prestige, a little bit of a cult following, but hey, there's a lot of stuff like that. When I had a Jeep, all I talked about was Jeeps. So I hope that helps you a little bit to understand why somebody would pay, you know, $150,000, $160,000 for a little trailer. And you could buy a 40-foot park model for half the price. Size doesn't mean everything. I'd like to know what you think. Do you think Airstreams are worth the money? If you had all the money, would you buy one? Does towability matter to you? Does history matter to you? Does longevity matter to you? If you spend $160,000 and you get $160,000 back when you decide to sell it, is that a good value? Let me know in the comments. Have a great day.